Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome into another riveting edition of Titans and Truth live on YouTube. I am your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we are going to have a fun episode tonight as we first off celebrate a huge victory over the Houston Texans. And we're definitely going to get into that in just a moment. But first off, I want to give a shout out to Craft Gatsby Creations and my cousin LaCrystal Cleveland and all the support that she's given to Titans of Truth. If y'all want if you want the Titans of Truth shirt, just like I have, I can get these in any color, and you can get these in the navy. You could get them in the light blue. You can get them in gray. You could get them in all kinds of colors. You can get them in all kinds of colors. I prefer the Titan colors, so that's you definitely can hit her up at Facebook under LaCrystal Cleveland on her. You can message her, and also on her Facebook page, Craft Gasmic Creations, as well, and also on her Instagram at Craft Gas Craft Gasmic underscore Creations. You could definitely hit her up there. So that's where you can go to get some of some of that stuff. You have something for a special occasion. She could definitely hook you up with that as well. So definitely check her out. And you could definitely get a shirt just like this. I believe one of my faithful followers maybe talking to her about getting a couple of shirts made also. And I'm actually going to get another shirt made too. And so just waiting on some more people to come in. You can come in here on YouTube. You can come in here on YouTube, and you can also, if you're on the TNT Enforcers page on Facebook Live, I'm also live on Facebook as well. So you could definitely come in and chat and come along with that too. So, I want some interaction out here. And I got Mitch on Facebook Live saying, "What's up? What's up there, Mitch? You and Ashley, good to see y'all. Armando, what's up, man? Thank you for the mask. I definitely do appreciate that. I'll be wearing that for home games. I got Shane here on YouTube. What's going on? Welcome in, welcome in. And y'all tell everybody, spread the word out. I want to get a good viewership. I want to get about 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 people watching. So spread the word. Tell everybody so that everybody can tune in and see this going on. And we got a lot to get into. We're going to definitely talk the post game. Since I unfortunately didn't do a post game on Sunday over the Texas win, I'm going to quickly go over that. I'm going to put out some nominees for the Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week as well as Dunce of the Day. And if y'all have any thoughts of anybody that maybe I missed that should be a nominee, definitely put them on there. Also, got some updates from practice. From today's practice, I was hearing some stuff coming out, and maybe got a little good news coming. And then we'll talk about the Texans. We'll talk about the Jaguars in general as well, getting ready for that big game coming up this Sunday down in Jacksonville. But again, make sure y'all share this out. Share this out on Facebook Live. Share this out on YouTube. Let everybody know what's going on. Let everybody know so that they too can tune in and can watch and can enjoy the show as well. We're going to have a live jam-packed show, so we're going to have a lot of fun. Y'all know where to find me. You can find me on Facebook under the TNT Enforcers page. That is the Titans of Truth fan page. So shout out to all my enforcers out there. All my enforcers definitely joining in. You can also check me out on Instagram at Titans_N_Truth as well. Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer. And also the website. And that is www.titansandtruth.wixsite.com/titansandtruth. You can definitely check that out. Ashley, how you doing there on Facebook? Logan, YouTube, Braylon as well. Glad y'all could join in with me. And we're going to definitely get this thing going and popping live. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We're definitely going to have a really good time. So about to get we're about to get into the show in just a quick second. Just making sure here and can comment and definitely get on with that. Shaolin Fantastic on Facebook. How's it going, sir? How's it going? Good to have you in here. Putting a little, out there to some of my other people that maybe don't know what's going on. So, that way they can get in on it too. And we don't leave nobody out. I don't like leaving people out or anything like that. So, I like all the Titan Nation to join in on the fun. And we're gonna get kicking in just a minute. And so I appreciate it. And Shaolin, yeah, you got to let me know your video so that way I can definitely watch and tune in and everything. So we're about to get really into this right now, and we're definitely gonna have a lot of fun again, and we're definitely not gonna make it too big of a show. I see some other people in here. Matt Necrone is here. I'm gonna get your name right, Matt. I got your name on this one, but I see everybody in here, and we'll get some other people following in. But let's go ahead and get started. First off, this Texan game, this was a really, really big game, and it was a great game to watch. I was there personally. I was glad to be there. And Miss Sandy, I see you there and everything. So I guess we are good to go now. But this game was a fun game to watch, and it was interesting from beginning to end as the Titans get a much needed 20-17 victory over those vaunted Houston Texans. They go to 1-1 on the year, and they're 1-0 in the division. And the first surprise that I got out of this game was that that Blaine Gabbert was starting instead of Marcus. I thought when I saw Marcus trot onto the field, I thought that that Marcus was going to start, but instead, we went with Blaine Gabbert. So, I was like, I don't know what to expect out of this one. I didn't know if it was going to be a good thing or not, but I have to give it up to, as Jared Stillman on 102.5 would say, big game Blaine. He maybe not had the biggest game, but it was a terrific game. It was a good game plan, and he definitely stuck with it. Threw for 117 yards. He did not throw a touchdown, although somebody else did. Well, no, I take that back. Yes, he did. He did throw a touchdown, and he did not cause any turnovers, no interceptions, no fumbles or anything. And the offensive line gets a good shout out because they, with Tyler Merritt's and Kevin Pamfield starting at guard, since our top three starting to tackle, with our top three tackles out, we had to basically go to our fourth and fifth tackle, and lo and behold, they did a absolutely fantastic job holding J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless to no sacks in the game. We only surrendered one sack in the entire game, and I think that was more so on Blaine than on the offensive line. Now, it did help that Jadeveon Clowney was not playing in the game, so that definitely helped out a whole lot. But still, with Merciless and Watt in there and DJ Reader, they did a very good job for the O-line, definitely holding that down. Corey Davis had a very nice game, 5 catches for 55 yards. That gives him 11 in 2 games. Also, Taywan Taylor, got a touchdown on a screen pass. Some very nifty moves. He shook out Tyrann Mathieu, and so that was very cool on that. And got and a good drive by Davis as well on the 18-yard catch and run, even though he fumbled the football a little bit, which got me mad. But thank goodness for Dion Lewis knocking the ball out of bounds and got us in the field goal range so that we could kick the game-winning field goal. Offensively as well, there were some nice timely runs with Dion Lewis and Derrick Henry as well. It may have not been the best runs in the world, but there were some very decent runs indeed that did help out a lot. The carries were very well distributed between them. I believe Derrick Henry had 18 carries. Lewis had 14 carries. So that was very, very good as well, too. And I liked what I saw with Davis. I liked what I saw with Taylor. I think Stalker had a catch. What's up, Wayne? Eric, how's it going? Taylor, how's it going over there at Facebook Live? And I liked what I saw from the offense. I mean, it could have been a little bit better, but it also could have been a whole hell of a lot worse. And I'm just glad that it was not. So big ups to the offensive line on that. And defensively, even though Deshaun Watson did throw for a quiet 300 yards, and that was probably one of the quietest 300 yards I saw. And Mama Boy, thank you for bringing it up. I'm actually going to go back to that in just a second. Is the thing about Deshaun Watson that we did well, we got pressure on him. We made him uncomfortable, and we did not give him a lot of lanes for him to just run amok and get out of the pocket and run. So that was something that was very, very good on our part defensively. We got after him to the tune of 4 sacks. Casey had 2 sacks. Logan Ryan had a sack on a blitz. And Kamalei Correa has turned out to be a terrific pickup. And all we gave up was a 6th-round pick in order to get him. He comes in 2 games straight, has a sack. So that is an incredible stat. And, with him and even Harold Landry, even though Landry did not register a tackle or a sack, he was getting pressure on Watson. He was getting up the field. There were a couple of times that Harold Landry was right there. And a normal pocket passing quarterback that doesn't really have a lot of mobility, he would have been sacked about 2 or 3 times by Landry. So, I mean, that was incredible. And Shane, I like that stat that you gave. Casey had 8 pressures in the game, 2 sacks, and he also had one of them was a strip sack. He stripped the ball loose, and we nearly got a turnover off of that. So, I mean, Casey was a man possessed out there. Kamalei Correa, had 5 tackles, a sack, and he did that on only 16 snaps, I'm going to tell you. So he really produced in the limited time he was in there and everything with that. So that was really, really good to see. Wesley Woodyard basically just did his job as usual. The secondary, was pretty solid. I know DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller each had 100 yards receiving, but we didn't just let them completely take the game over, basically. DeAndre Hopkins had his 6 catches for 113. Will Fuller had 8 for 115. But, we just didn't, like I said, let them take over the game. And definitely a big ups also to Adoree Jackson, got his first career interception. And, Watson tried to go deep. Thank goodness that Byard was right there over the top. And I think, honestly, Adoree probably could have picked that pass off even if he were one-on-one, because DeAndre Hopkins had a step on him. But, I mean, Adoree closed so fast. He closed so fast on Hopkins that he was able to pick that off, and he actually went up. He went up. I believe they were even talking about it on the post game where his number 5 was up over Hopkins' head. So he went up to get that interception and came down with it. I see Miss Rochelle and Miss Courtney coming in. How y'all doing? And Tyler coming in. What's up with you? How you doing? And so I really liked what I saw from the secondary. And even though Butler did give up that touchdown, I know some people are questioning Malcolm Butler, saying, we maybe paid too much for him. Butler was very physical with DeAndre Hopkins the whole game, and he didn't just let Hopkins just get big gains on him. Hopkins had to work for everything he had. And there was a point in the last drive that Deshaun Watson almost got picked off by Butler to end the game. Butler almost picked off an out route that would have ended the game. So that showed that, let that intercept, he let that touchdown go, and he was able to come back on it. And the thing about that touchdown, he was right there step for step with Will Fuller. I mean, there wasn't really a lot that he could have done. The only thing he maybe could have done is turn his head. If he looks at the football, he either picks it off or he knocks it away, basically, before Fuller can go up and catch it. So I definitely think that Butler's going to be better as the season goes along with that. So I liked how our defense played at the end of it. At the end of it all, Deshaun Watson didn't just go crazy. We held him to only 17 points the whole game. Instead of the 57 points they put up on us the last time we were in Houston. So much, much better. Ways that we played that game. And, Shane coming in, I agree with that. One of the best receiving corps we'll face. I definitely agree with that. With Hopkins being an all-pro, Will Fuller, the speed demon. With that, you got Deshaun Watson throwing him the ball. Definitely one of the better receiving corps we held up. Shaolin Fantastic saying Harold Landry balled out. I agree with that. Tyler coming in saying Jarrell so underrated in the NFL as one of the best defensive linemen. And I agree, because Jarrell Casey is always being known as the best defensive lineman in the league that nobody talks about. You talk about, Aaron Donald, you talk about Ndamukong Suh, you talk about all these big-time linemen, Leonard Williams, Muhammad Wilkerson. You notice Jarrell Casey never really gets mentioned in the conversation as one of the best defensive linemen. J.J. Watt's another one. And that is, I think that's a bit disrespectful, but Jarrell, likes being underrated, under the radar. He's going to get his respect because he got paid and, he went to the Pro Bowl. So he's getting his respect one way or another. But he does deserve to be up in there with the Aaron Donalds, with the J.J. Watts, the Marcel Darius, if he's even mentioned up in there. Some of the best tackles in the league on the defensive side of the ball. He does deserve to be up in that conversation. But also another thing I definitely liked was that the crowd got into it as the game went on. The crowd got louder, especially on third down. I think the "Ahoo, ahoo, ahoo" Spartan chant starting to get a little loud there. And I even heard from the other side of the stadium, I heard that big chant of "Let's go Titans." And I'm thinking, I've never heard that coming out of the stadium like that before. That was probably one of the few times I could say the Titan fans outdid opposing fans with that. And I mean, there wasn't really a bunch of talk, but it was nice to see the Titan faithful standing up and just doing their thing. We got to keep that going. Excuse me for that. A couple other comments coming through. Shane said, I could see him getting a quiet 12, 13 sacks. And that's Jarrell Casey. Earlier on before the season started, he said, I'm aiming for double-digit sacks. And I think he could get there. He definitely can. K. True coming in saying, if our pass rush keeps up, Bortles won't be able to do nearly as much as what Watson did. I definitely agree with that. Matt, welcome back. Glad you didn't leave me. Joseph, what's up with you? And so, I mean, I like the fact that, I like the fact the crowd was in it, and everything. They stayed in it and was, very much engaged. And, we stepped up to the end. So, it was not, we knew that we were going to get their best shot. We knew we didn't have our best. And yet, the crowd brought it, the team brought it, and I think they fed off of that. So that was something that was really, really special to see on that. And Eric on Facebook, I'm glad you brought that up. Talk about some shock treatment, y'all. How many of you can actually say, who's listening right now on Facebook Live or on YouTube, I want some thumbs up emojis or anything saying, who saw this fake punt coming? Who saw it coming? Don't worry, I'll wait. Because I can honestly tell you, I did not see that coming, and I don't think anybody did. The fact of the matter is, that was some real shock treatment. And I mean, that was a gutsy play call. You're in your own territory on fourth down, having to punt the ball away, and we're at our own 32. If this doesn't go well, the Texans get the ball at our 32-yard line with a chance to march in and take an early lead. Yet, this gutsy call and Byard being left-handed, I tell you, a lefty coming in, doing his thing, and got it to Dane Cruikshank, and Cruikshank did the rest. I did not see that one coming. I was shocked, and all I kept saying with everybody around me was, wow. That's all I could really say on that was, wow. That was incredible. And I mean, that was gutsy, and it worked out just fine. They played aggressive, and I think they went for it on fourth down a couple of times after that too. So, I mean, some aggressive play calling, definitely there. So, I definitely liked what I saw out of that. So, I mean, I thought that was incredible, and I liked what they did on. I liked what they definitely did, and like I said, Eric said it. He almost had a heart attack. I was just shocked and awe on that. So I thought that was really, really cool on that part. And one other thing I will say that I like the idea, but they need to get better at it at the stadium. I love the Titans drum line. I think that's really cool. But the thing that they were trying to do, they were trying to start a Tighten Up chant. I like the idea. I like the idea very much. But they have got to get the timing down with the fans. What's up, Riley? How's it going? And so they got to get the timing down with the fans. It felt like it was off a little bit. So what they probably need to do is just, instead of the drums, just have where the signs go up and we all say, somebody says, one side go, tighten up, and keep it going. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. That's how they really need to do that. And they really want to get that chant flowing. They really got to do it on time and correctly. And I think that could be something that they do maybe after every touchdown. Maybe after every touchdown before the kickoff, or right after the kickoff, before the defense takes the field. That might be the time where they could do something like that and get it up to where, we start chanting tighten up when the defense is on the field. Something like that. I think that's something that they could definitely do on that. So, I like that. I like the idea. Tyler, we're going to get to pick my brain in a second, because I know you're going to come at me, Tyler, on Facebook. He's going to come at me with about 5 different questions. So I know it's coming. So I definitely understand that. Matt coming in saying on Facebook, RPO, what? I know he has his RPO. He has his RPO podcast. Y'all should check that out too. It's really, really good with that. So I liked it. And Matt, you try to make me laugh with this Will Smith reference, and I'm thinking it's crazy. So, and everything. So, Joseph, I appreciate you watching for Buffalo Wild Wings. Order me some wings while you at it. Order me up some wings. So we're definitely glad that everybody's here tuning in and everything. I don't know, I'm rambling, so let's move on here. Now, today, of course, the Titans had practice today, and we got some good news, and we got some, I don't know how to call it, news. So the good news is, Taylor Lewan, even though he was limited, he was back out on the practice field practicing, and, he's still in the concussion protocol, which, I think it's a very good sign that he's out on the field practicing, even though they said he's limited. I honestly think with Taylor Lewan, he will be going on Sunday. I think he's going to play Sunday. They're probably going to clear him within the next day or two. Taylor Lewan will be playing. Jack Conklin was back on the practice field in shoulder pads as well, limited as well. Now, I don't know if Jack Conklin will go Sunday. It depends on if Dennis Kelly comes back. They may hold him out one more week. But I think Jack Conklin is very close to making his debut as well. I think it'll be massive if both of them get are playing on Sunday. But I definitely think Taylor Lewan is going to play on Sunday no matter what. And I think the way it goes, if Jack Conklin keeps practicing, maybe has a full practice on Friday, I think Jack Conklin goes on Sunday as well. And that would be huge, whether it's Marcus or Blaine Gabbert at quarterback. So, and speaking of Marcus, I know that there are a lot of people panicking out there about Marcus, and there's a lot of you that's just flat out gave up on him. I know there's a lot of you out there. I know it. I hear it. I see it. I hear people talking about it. I know it's out there. So, today Marcus, went through practice. They said he was limited, but maybe not really limited. He made some throws, and, he basically came out and said, I've gotten better. I'm frustrated, that I'm going through this. But he's saying basically that there's no pain, and that, he's still working on getting the grip, with the glove. He wore a glove, and that maybe a couple of, one or two fingers are still kind of tingling a little bit, but then the other fingers are seeming to be fine. So it looks like he's coming back okay. He practiced today. Let's see what he does tomorrow and then what he does Friday. I think if he gets through tomorrow and Friday, I think he's going to play Sunday, and I think that's a big boost for this Titan team. But he does have to be able to make the throws necessary. Definitely check out the Titans Twitter page. They did have some showing where Marcus did make some throws. Joe Rexroad was on 102.5 the game earlier today and basically said, there were a few passes where there was some zip on it that, it looked like he was his normal self and got back to normal, and there were a few passes that, maybe weren't normal. But for the most part, it looks like Marcus is slowly starting to come back to himself, and that is a very, very good sign. So we'll definitely see how he's going forward with that. But, Titan fans, now is not the time to give up on Marcus Mariota. I definitely understand this is year 4. It's a big year for him, and I know there are a lot of you that are not giving up on him, as Ashley has mentioned. I'm not giving up on Marcus, but he is going to show all these haters. I hope he does, Mitch. I really hope he does. And, the thing about it is, I know it's year 4, and I know he had a bad year last year, and, this is a big money year for him. And, a lot of people are saying he's injury prone, but let me give you some facts. Yes, and some facts were given, and this is true. Marcus, there are 50 games Marcus could have played in. He has started in 43 of them, but has only finished 39 games. Now, and that's about 78% compared to other quarterbacks that are around, 85 to 90% have played in games. But I want to take this a little bit further. on that. And that is that, excuse me, and that is, look, yes, in the first year Marcus was a starter, he only played 12 out of 16 games. He got knocked out in the game against Miami thanks to Olivier Vernon and Cameron Wake. And then in the New England game, before that, with the Miami game, of course, Jeremiah Patasi having to block Cameron Wake. That was just stupid by Ken Whisenhunt. Thank God he's not coach anymore. And then in the New England game, Antonio Andrews misses a block, hurts Mariota, and that caused him to miss the other game. So, he missed 4 games. But after that, he's only missed about a game and a half each year going forward. His second year, he only missed a game and a half, and that was because he made it through pretty much the entire season and broke his leg in the game against Jacksonville. So he pretty much almost made it through the entire season in year 2. Now, year 3 was the game against Houston where he pulled a hamstring, missed the second half of that game, and missed the game against Miami, but came back and finished the year. So, Marcus missing a game, yeah, that's not good. But it is not like every year Marcus is missing 3, 4, 5 games plus. That's not happening. With with Jake Locker when he was here, he could barely make it through it, half a year. There were times where he missed an entire season. One year, he after the Jets game missed a whole year. Then there was another game where he had the Liz Frank injury. He missed a whole year of that one too. You haven't had that with Marcus yet. So I think we take a lot of the injury stuff out of context. Yes, it's bad that he gets hurt. It is bad. I'm not saying it's not, but I think, and he's trying to come back for this game. They dressed him for the game against Houston. So, obviously they felt he probably could have went in that game and he would have been ready to go if they needed to go to him. So, I'm not ready to give up on Marcus yet. I know some others may have. So that's, basically what I got to say about that. We'll see how Marcus goes on the rest of the week. I'm pretty sure Gabbert got some snaps too. Let's see. Shane said, I wasn't able to watch the game. I looked at the stats after KB 66 yards and touchdown and was, what did he miss? So, yeah, that was actually a big play. D09 Motivate said, we're not winning if we got Blaine Gabbert. We don't even trust him to throw the ball. Well, hey, it worked the last time against Houston. So, yeah, he's going to have to throw the ball a little bit in this game coming up a little bit, but maybe not too much. And I will get to what I think we could do offensively and defensively against the Jags in just a moment. Saw some comments on Facebook Live. I'm going to go back and read. I like this with Logan on Facebook. He said, just throw catfish on the field. I definitely don't mind that idea. That might be a really, really good idea. We keep that tradition and bring it to Nissan Stadium. I think so. Eric said, I hope Mariota gets cleared to play Sunday. I hope so too. Let's see. Chris Widener, Whitner says, I hope our tackles get healthy. It looks like it's heading in that direction, Chris. It really looks like it's heading in that direction. Joseph saying, how about Corey Davis? Stiff arms, Kareem Jackson, Derrick Henry got Jonathan Joseph. I agree with that. And Derrick Henry running the Wildcat was something to see. I liked it, and they kept running it 3-4 times in a row. And so I'm thinking, okay, you might want to stop running this all the time. But, hey, if it works, keep doing it, Until the other team stops it, keep running with it. So I definitely like that. And I definitely like the stiff arm by Corey Davis too. And so I thought that was fitting. That was like Corey Davis is here to stay. That was something I liked. Eric said, I was sitting in 344 and there were 4 Texan fans telling us we were being too loud. Marcus, Mariota is my favorite. So what if you were being too loud? So what? That's our job. They just need to shut up and take that loss. That's what they need to do. Joseph said our defense got to show up. Harold Landry is a beast. I like how he played. I agree with that. And Logan says if Gabbert can go out there and manage a game, Marcus can go out there and take it over. We've seen it many times. Hopefully it's Marcus taking over the game. Definitely. Joseph saying, can Marcus play like Tom Brady with a hurt hand facing Jaguars in postseason? Can Marcus play and win it? I hope he can. So do I. Joseph saying I still hope Marcus, and I have his jerseys too. I still have some hope for Marcus. Joseph saying Ramsey better not talk trash. I definitely want, and Logan's right. I want to see Corey give that stiff arm to Jalen Ramsey or AJ Bouye. I think that would set all of Titan Nation off as like, this is the real deal right here. So I definitely like the stiff arms and everything. So I definitely like that. Shallow said we need Jonnu to step up. I'm going to get to that in just a moment. So, now comes to the part of the star. We have our nominations for the Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week. And these are a couple that I like. But if you saw a few others that you might like, definitely add them on here. A couple of nominations I have Mike Vrabel. Congratulations to him getting his first career victory as a head coach. To Jarrell Casey getting 2 sacks. The offensive line only allowing 1 sack, mainly Pamfield and Tyler Merritt's. Byard and Crookshank on the fake punt. Adoree Jackson getting his first career interception. Kamale Correa getting a sack and 5 tackles on 16 snaps. Blaine Gabbert not turning over the ball. Big. So those are some of my nominations for the Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week. I want y'all as many comments as possible. Who do you think deserves to be the Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week? And I will give that award at the end of the show. Also, if there was somebody that I didn't nominate and you think should be up there, put some thoughts on that too, as well. So we're definitely going to see about that. And also, when there is a star of the week, there's got to be a dunce of the day too. Somebody that didn't play as well or who didn't show up at all on the stat sheet. So I have a couple of nominees for that as well. First off, Malcolm Butler giving up the touchdown to Will Fuller. Even though he was step for step with him, he still should have turned his head a bit. And, even though he did have some good plays, so maybe not too deserving of the dunce of the day, but I did have to put him up there for giving up that touchdown. Rashard Matthews is definitely a nominee in my book. Rashard, where have you went? Where are you, sir? I mean, you've done absolutely nothing. I haven't even noticed you on the sideline, much less on the field. Where has Rashard Matthews gone? I mean, my goodness. He's only had 2 catches for 8 yards, I believe, this whole season. That's not going to do it, Rashard. And I know a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's been out all offseason due to injury, and he really didn't play at all in the preseason. So he's still trying to catch up on the offense, and he better pick up this offense quick. And I mean fast. So Rashard Matthews definitely is a dunce of the day nominee. And last but not least, and Shaolin Fantastic mentioned it perfectly, Jonnu Smith. He did absolutely nothing in this game. And he is supposed to be Delaney Walker's replacement. And I didn't even notice him on the field. I mean, I know they kept him in mainly for blocking and stuff like that, but he didn't have any catches. He didn't even get targeted. Luke Stocker got targeted more than Jonnu Smith. And I believe even Anthony Ferguson got in the game and got targeted more than Jonnu Smith, in my opinion. I mean, come on, Jonnu, you're supposed to eventually be Delaney Walker's heir apparent, his successor, his replacement, and you did nothing at all. So definitely a nominee put on that list there. And I see Shane giving the nominee for Star of the Week to Coach Vrabel. D09 Motivation on YouTube said Rashard Matthews haven't done nothing because our quarterbacks are not that good. D, I got to disagree with you on that one. The fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter. I mean, I could be trying to throw the ball to Rashard Matthews and he probably ain't catching it right now. It just seemed like he's lost out there. Like he has no idea what's going on. So that's why I got to put him on that list. So I kind of disagree with that. Now, Shaolin does mention Corey Davis for the fumble. I can agree with that to a certain extent. Yeah, he should not have fumbled that football. I definitely agree. You got to put that away with that. So, I mean, I definitely agree with that. Logan coming in with saying Kamale Correa for Star of the Week. Logan says Casey, like the Energizer Bunny. Has Benny Logan been on the field? Yes, Benny Logan has been on the field, but I probably noticed Austin Johnson more than Benny Logan. I really haven't noticed Benny Logan like that. So, that's something I would have to think about. Chris Widener giving it to Taywan Taylor and Adoree Jackson. Luke Stocker, well-rounded player, as Chris Widener says. Joseph said, is he the next Jarrell Casey? Maybe he is. He has helped get some pressure on the quarterback and has done well in the run game. So, Daquan Jones could get there. We may have a very solid defensive line, But, we got to see what's going on between Austin Johnson and Benny Logan. Benny Logan, I haven't really just noticed when he's on the field a little bit more. So we definitely got to see about that. But definitely keep coming with your nominations. I will definitely give that those awards at the end of the show. We're quickly going to do a Pick My Brain right quick. So if you got any questions, if you want to pick my brain, definitely put me out. I'll definitely answer them as quickly as I can on that. So let's get into that. Let's see. I'm looking at some questions. Let's see. Mama Boy saying, I think the fact that we have no true number one weapon is an advantage against Jacksonville because they don't have a specific game plan to take a single person out of the offense. What is your thought? I agree with that. I mean, I think Corey Davis is becoming that. He is slowly starting to become that. And that's something I'm really going to talk about as far as the Jacksonville game, because I think there are some things we could do to take advantage of that defense and really to keep them honest and keep them on their toes. So, I mean, they're going to have to watch out for Davis. They're going to have to watch out for Taylor. Maybe watch out for Luke Stocker. Watch out for Dion Lewis coming out of the backfield. They may bring Dalen Dawkins in a little bit. So they cannot say, well, we got to take this guy away and focus on this guy. So that is true. So I definitely do agree we can have an advantage because Jacksonville is not really going to know who has the hot hand and who they need to stop. So, I am definitely a fan of that. So let's see. Shane coming in on YouTube says, has the Mike Mularkey firing been validated yet, or is it too early to tell? Do you see a big game for Rick Henry on Sunday? I think the way this game plan went against the Texans kind of has validated that a little bit. I think there's still more that has to be done, but I do think that Vrabel is off to a good start to validate that firing. Because one thing that I liked about Vrabel is that they did some aggressive things. They adjusted their game plan. They did some wildcat. They didn't just, like Robisky, just run the same crap out there all the time and just kept knocking on dead wood trying to make something work. That, was something that Vrabel didn't do. Him and LaFleur, they adjusted the game plan accordingly. And, there were some different things that Dean Pease did to confuse Deshaun Watson long enough to keep him at bay. So I definitely like that. I think the validation is there. More is to come from that. But I think there is some validation there with the Mike Mularkey firing. And as far as Derrick Henry is concerned, I think going into the second half of the game against Jacksonville, if we build us a lead, yes, I think Derrick Henry can finish it off and he could plow into Jalen Ramsey like he did last year and take over the game. So I think that's definitely a possibility. And let's see. I'm going to go back because I know Tyler hit me up with some questions. I'm going to definitely go and answer those. So let's see. Okay, here we go. He says, Mariota's contract is coming up on Facebook Live. I'm watching. Mariota's contract is coming up, and I honestly don't know what to think. And the nerve injury worries me. But what would you think of signing him on a bargain contract and keeping him as a backup, and we draft the quarterback in the first round? I feel like he might have reached his ceiling, or do you think he should stay starter for years to come? This is what I think about Marcus when it comes to this. Yes, this is a big money year for him. He's got to step up and show that he could be a franchise quarterback. And what I think can happen, there are three different scenarios. Three different scenarios that I see. The best case scenario, and the one that is most unlikely. Well, there's four. There's four scenarios. The first one is, and this is a scenario that I'm hoping for the best, is that Marcus, comes back from this injury, finishes the year, balls out, does well. They may work on an extension, maybe not finish it, And then Marcus balls out in his 5th-year option. They have an extension done for him in the middle of the year next year, and he's our franchise quarterback for years to come. That's the scenario I want. The scenario that I think is going to happen, and at best case, is a decent quarterback, maybe not super top tier, but he's a guy that gets us to the playoffs consistently, maybe wins a division title here and there, wins us a playoff game. Maybe we don't get to the Super Bowl. We might sneak into an AFC championship game, but at most cases, Marcus Mariota is like an Andy Dalton, except he's won a playoff game. And that's what I would compare Marcus to. Bengal fans were so ready to run Andy Dalton out of town, but the coaching staff has stuck with Andy Dalton, and he's at least been a decent quarterback. He's not top tier, but he's not busting by any means with that. So I think as a decent, maybe slightly above average, Marcus could be Andy Dalton. And that's not too bad, because there are probably a lot of teams that wouldn't mind having Andy Dalton right now. Buffalo is probably crying for an Andy Dalton type. So that's number 2, and that's the most likely scenario. Number 3 is the one that I think would be the absolute worst case scenario that comes out good for Marcus. We don't believe in him. We let him go. He's healed, goes to another team, lights it up, and gets them to the playoffs and leads them to some good things. And we're sitting back like, why did we let Marcus go? We just gave him up to another team for nothing. And now he's balling out with them. And then number 4 is the absolute worst case scenario, is that Marcus walks, we draft a quarterback, and we're held back for 5 years, and that quarterback stinks. Now, there is a possibility that we let Mariota go, we draft a quarterback, and he ends up being a good quarterback. But that's highly unlikely in this league. Just ask Cleveland. And they might have finally gotten it right. They got Tyrod Taylor and Baker Mayfield, and that's not even guaranteed. Ask Buffalo with Josh Allen and Nathan Peterman. How's that working for them? Okay? And ask San Francisco before they just happened to have Jimmy Garoppolo fall into their lap. Okay? So those are some of the things that I'm thinking about as far as that. Let's see. Should we give Mama's Boy on YouTube? Should we give Adoree some offensive snaps this week? Maybe not in this situation. I wouldn't against Jacksonville. Maybe that would be something different that they haven't seen. I wouldn't mind that, but I don't want to risk Adoree getting hurt because we need him on defense. Now, maybe in the game against Philly or in the game against Buffalo and Baltimore, I could see that. I could definitely see that, but maybe not yet. And then demotivation comes in saying, do you think we're a quarterback away from the Super Bowl? I think if Marcus gets healthy and can stay consistent healthy and this offense gets rolling, yeah, I think we could definitely get to the Super Bowl with a really good quarterback. And I think Marcus could be that guy. I really do. But he's got to be healthy. He's got to prove it. But with a good quarterback in this offense, sky's the limit. Absolutely. Okay, I'm looking at a few other questions, and we're going to get going on the Jags because I know I'm about 40, almost 48, almost an hour into this thing. Let's see. Give me a second. And I appreciate y'all sticking with me on that. Let's see. Eric said, I'm going to try to go to the November 11th game when we play the Patriots. I got a feeling we are going to stomp the Patriots. Titans are going to get revenge. I hope Jarrell Casey sacks Tom Brady. I hope so, too. That's going to be a very interesting game. We're going to see how they're doing at that time. They got boat raced by the Jags. So, anything can happen. And, that's going to be a big game for a lot of purposes because you got Vrabel, Dion, you got Malcolm Butler, playing against their former team. So that's going to be very interesting to see. Let's see. Here we go. Tyler says, number two, let's see. Because I knew you were coming with questions. Do you feel like Titan fans are starting to respect Corey Davis now? I think he's coming. I think he's coming with the fans. Because a lot of fans were not really feeling Corey Davis. I think he's coming. I think it's coming. I just want to see Corey Davis get in the end zone during the regular season. That's all that's missing. Get in the end zone. Get a couple of touchdowns. That's what's missing from Corey Davis. But I think the fans are starting to feel him a little bit. What kind of contract do you think Mario deserves? I don't know yet. $30 million right now? No, I wouldn't give that to him. $20 million, I probably wouldn't give to him either. Maybe somewhere around 15, 16, 17 million a year. He's got to earn to get up past 20. And I think Marcus is really not that selfish of a player. He's probably not going to, his agent will ask for that much, but I don't think Marcus really cares about the money like that. So, I mean, he may even give a discount. But I think, if he does well, I would say 20 to 25 million max, in my opinion. Did you feel like there were a lot of wide receiver screens in the Houston game? I thought there were a few. Taywan Taylor caught one for the touchdown. Davis turned one into a big play. I think there was another screen that didn't really have a lot of yards, but I think there were a few screens in there. Do you feel Dion Lewis is getting more love than big dog Derrick Henry? They said before the season that they started our offensive coordinator likes backs like Dion. I think Dion fits better in the offense. But I think they want to split it between both of them. And I think they want to have it where they're both lined up at the same time at times. Dion Lewis can do a lot more for you, especially in the passing game. So that's why I think they're giving Dion a lot of love. But I think they definitely want to give Derrick Henry some love. And obviously in this game, Derrick Henry had more carries, but Dion Lewis had a few more touches as well. So I think it was very much equaled out. It was balanced. Mama's Boy on YouTube saying, where's the slant to Davis? That's a good question. They should run some slants to Davis. I would like to see that. And I think in this game with Jacksonville, I think that could be there. So, you got to really take advantage of Corey Davis's skill set. Let's see. Tyler saying, how surprised with you Blaine Gabbert and how he's been doing? I was shocked he won the game, because I was terrified with Blaine Gabbert being in there. But I have to admit, I was impressed. Marcus has been throwing in a lot of interceptions. If you were J-Rob, what would you do? Philly doesn't have a Pro Bowl season. It's time to consider letting him go. I think you kind of asked that question before. Not ready to give up on Marcus yet. I think a lot of it is he's got to get comfortable. The interceptions he threw in the Miami game were after the injury, where I think he sailed on one, and the other was he kind of just slightly overthrew Dion Lewis there. So I think Marcus could get better with that. He needs to throw less interceptions. I call for him to throw, around 10 interceptions. He doesn't need to throw that. So I think that there's still confidence in him. They're not giving up on him like that. So we're going to definitely see. Let's see. Got a couple more questions. Nick Williams, is he going to make an impact? Joseph said on Facebook. I think Nick Williams can make an impact. We're going to definitely find out. He's back on the team. He doesn't have to get acclimated because he was with the team all training camp. So we're definitely going to see if he makes an impact or not. He's going to be a guy the Jaguars weren't expecting, so he could be that third receiver. And, I forgot about Tajay Sharp. He made, a nice catch over the middle. He should have caught another one over the middle as well. We cannot forget about Tajay Sharp. He's gotten a lot of go and a lot of snaps, so we'll definitely have to see that. Chris Widener saying on Facebook, do you expect more Wildcat plays? I don't know if I would expect more. I can see it coming every now and then, but I don't think it's something that they're just going to continue running a whole lot. Derrick Henry, Dion Lewis, do you think they're going to be on the field together? Joseph Mitchell. I hope so. I think if they're on the field together, that would probably make the Jaguars defense think a whole lot more than they would want to. So I think having them both on the field could be a big time advantage. I could definitely see something like that happening. Okay. But it looks like that was all the questions we had on Pick My Brain. If you have any other questions, just hit me up on the Titans, the TNT Enforcers page, or hit me up on Instagram off air, and I'll definitely answer them for you. But before we do get out of here, let's quickly talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Of course, I will do a pregame on Sunday, giving a little bit more about Jacksonville as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. It'll only be exclusively on Facebook Live on the TNT Enforcers page. So if you have not joined that page, join that page, because that's the only page I'm going to put that on, and everything with that. So you can see me live as I talk about the game before kickoff. But this Jaguar team coming in at 2-0. You know, they beat the New England Patriots 31-20, and they beat them like a drum. Blake Bortles threw for 373 yards, I believe, and had 4 touchdowns. And, I mean, TJ Yeldon and Grant looked really, really good. Grant kind of reminds me of a Dion Lewis in a way. So we're definitely going to have to be on our P's and Q's. You know, they even did well without Fournette. And I've heard a stat that they're I believe they are 4-1. I might be wrong on that, without Leonard Fournette. So they're actually better without Leonard Fournette. So we're definitely we'll have our work cut out for us if Bortles tries to throw it all over the place. You know, their defense, their pass rush is very good with Calais Campbell, Yannick Ngakoue, Marcel Darius, Dante Fowler is playing, Avery Jones. They are deep on the defensive line, and that is going to be a very, very tough challenge for our offensive line. So that's why I think it's imperative getting Taylor Lewan and Jack Conklin back. That could very well help. Or even Dennis Kelly. That would very well help against this Jacksonville pass rush. And then, of course, you got Telvin Smith, Miles Jack at linebacker. And, of course, you got A.J. Bouye and that trash-talking Jalen Ramsey on the secondary and the back end. So, yes, as usual, they have a very good defense and everything. So we definitely have to be ready for that. Some matchups that I'm looking at in this game is our wide receivers versus their cornerbacks. Corey Davis, he's going to have his work cut out for him against Jalen Ramsey. And, you know, Taywan Taylor or Tajay Sharp are going to have their work cut out for them against A.J. Bouye. So I remember last year in the Jacksonville game, Taywan Taylor burned A.J. Bouye deep. So, there may be some ways to take advantage of the defense. A lot of the times I was watching the Jags game against New England was that Tom Brady had to do a lot of dinking and dunking over the middle. And, that may be something that we could take advantage of if we get the ball. And that was one of the things that I was going to say offensively we need to do, is that we need to just be patient, be aggressively patient, be methodical, long drives, take what the defense gives you and definitely try to just slowly march down the field. That way we tire them out, and then that way Derrick Henry can come in and finish the job in the fourth quarter and run them over. So that's what the offense has to do. And it's just be patient. Take what they give you. Don't be like what the Jags tried to do last year and make explosive plays. Because if you do that, you're playing right into their hands. You don't want to do that. So we just got to be patient and be aggressive and play our way. Stick to our game plan. That's going to be key offensively. Defensively, a matchup that I'm looking forward to, Jarrell Casey up against Andrew Norwell, who was very impressive in the game against New England. And one thing that we have to do is we got to attack Blake Bortles. We got to make sure he doesn't run. We got to keep him in the pocket, and we have got to get pressure on him, get in his face. We got to let Blake Bortles be Blake Bortles. And I'm talking about the garbage Blake Bortles. We got to force them into being one-dimensional where they are forced to make plays, and we can just get after him. And I think, honestly, the Patriots secondary is pitiful. Their defense is not that good. I think we're better defensively, and we can get after Blake Bortles a whole lot faster. We got to stop the run. TJ Yeldon and Grant were very impressive. We got to stop them and then force Blake Bortles to beat us, and that could lead to some interceptions. And definitely cause some turnovers. You know, we had a turnover with Adoree Jackson, nearly caused another. We got to get some turnovers on the offense and then take advantage of that on the offensive side of the ball. And so, and then coaching-wise, like I said, stick to the game plan. And when we have a lead, keep on them. Do not let up. We cannot let up on this team. If we got a chance to stop a mud hole in them, we got to do it. We have to stay aggressive on this team. We cannot allow them any hope of getting back in this football game if we get a lead. And then Derrick Henry could just pound them into submission. That's what I think we need to do. And so on Sunday in the pregame, I will give my Blue Enforcer 4 ways to victory. And, you know, I'll definitely talk more about that in some of these very points right there. But that's what I think we need to do as far as stopping the Jaguars and getting a victory. But before we do get out of here, let's give out the Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week award. Again, I saw some Mike Vrabel sightings. I saw Adoree. I saw definitely some votes for the offensive line. Let's see. I saw Jarrell Casey get some votes. And I even Correa in there. But I'm going to give an honorable mention. I'm going to definitely give an honorable mention to Kamalei Correa, Harold Landry, and Jarrell Casey on the pass rush. I'm definitely going to give that, and another one to the offensive line. But I'm going to give my Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week to Mike Vrabel on his first victory. He did a great job with the game plan and setting us up for success and basically winning the game for us, being aggressive. So I liked Vrabel's game plan. So I give that to him as a Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week. And now for the Dunce of the Day award, I will have to give it. I'm not going to give it to Malcolm Butler because I think he's going to get better. But I definitely will have to give the Dunce of the Day award. You know, even though I did see some with Malcolm Butler getting beat again, so he does get honorable mention. But I'm going to say that the Dunce of the Day has to go to Jonnu Smith because Jonnu Smith was nowhere to be found. He's supposed to be the replacement for Delanie Walker, and he did absolutely nothing in this game. And, I mean, like I said, Luke Stocker was looking better than Jonnu Smith. So I have to give it to Jonnu Smith on that one as the Dunce of the Day. Okay, and one last thing before I do get out of here. Thank y'all so much for sticking with me. I know I've been over an hour. Thank y'all for sticking with me on everything. But before I do get out of here, a huge national Dunce of the Day has to go to Vontae Davis. I mean, this guy for the Buffalo Bills, this guy quit on his team. I mean, he goes, you know, I think he made a play or something like that, but he goes into the locker room at halftime, puts on his street clothes, and basically says, I'm done. I'm not playing. No, I'm not playing the second half. I'm retired. I mean, this guy quit. Forget the whole retirement thing. I mean, if you're not feeling the game anymore, or you're just not really ready to give yourself in the game, finish the game at least, and then retire. I would have respected you more for that. But instead, this fool quit and retires in the middle of the game. I have never heard of that before. And the fact of the matter is, he didn't retire. He quit on his team. I mean, what does that say about you? And, I heard somebody on the radio talking about this earlier. And I mean, think about this. What that say about you? That says you are a quitter. That means you are a quitter. You gave up easily, and you didn't give a damn about anybody but yourself. You left the Buffalo Bills high and dry. And more than that, they even mentioned this on one of the radio shows. Now his kids got to deal with that. His kids got to go to school, answer for that, saying, your daddy's a quitter. And they'll get picked on because of that. I mean, that was just dumb. I mean, if you're not feeling the game anymore, at least finish the game, then you retire. People will respect you more for that. So I just think that was ridiculous. That was stupid. And I mean, dunce of the year, Vontae Davis on that. So everybody, make sure y'all continue to follow me. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, hit that subscribe button. I want some more subscribers. I need y'all out there. And I thank y'all for sticking with me. Definitely spread the word. Share this out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Share this out. And I agree. I think the Jags could be in for a surprise. I think the game plan, we could definitely set it up for victory. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank y'all for sticking with me. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And Titans of Truth, y'all know where to go to find me. Y'all know where they're at. Yeah, Instagram, that's my personal page. You can still follow me there. But at Titans_in_truth. Everything else is good. Y'all make sure y'all hit up Craft Gatsby Creations. Get you one of these shirts made. I want to see y'all wearing them loud and proud. But thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for hitting up Titans of Truth. I will be seeing y'all on Sunday for the pregame. Titans and Jags. Tighten up. Tighten up. And let's go get this win.